Greetings and welcome to the BlastCast. I am Jarvis and with me is myself. It's just me tonight, folks. So before we get into the Star Citizen news, I just want to talk to you real quick. Of course, I've been gone a while. I have not streamed or done many videos. I've been recovering from this, whatever the heck this has been, and I wanted to do streaming and things like that, but no one wants to listen to someone cough and hack and wheeze for 2 hours, so I kind of decided to just try to get better. I am feeling a lot better now. But still on the tail end of this, this is some wicked stuff. I also wanted to talk to you a bit about streaming. Now, I've tried Twitch, DLive, and we've done to YouTube. I think that I like YouTube the best. So I was talking to Lightning, and we're looking at doing a weekly Monday live stream. We're just going to kind of go for it. Now, the stream will be at Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, during these streams, we'll play all sorts of different games, DCS, Space Engineers, maybe Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout 76, it doesn't really matter. The reason for these is to give you an opportunity to interact with us, to ask questions, to talk about Star Citizen news, gaming news in general, whatever's on your mind. These won't have a set length. We're just going to play until we feel that, we need to stop because our voices are falling apart. So you are welcome to drop by and just ask questions or whatever. Now, on this week's show, we're going to talk a bit about ship customization, caves, and also I want to get into the subscriber program a little bit because there's a little bit of controversy there on changes to that, and we'll get into that in just a moment. Now, Evocati is currently testing an updated 3.5 build, and honestly I would expect a 3.6 Evocati test build to be moved into our hands within 2 to 3 weeks, but that's just a guess. So let's jump to the first topic, ship customization. CIG showed us their first steps into ship customization using the updated 300 series. Players can swap seats, textures, colors, and even layouts to a limited degree. Now, I think this is fantastic. One of the things I love most in games is customization, making ships your own. Now, there were some scenes here, it looks like the beds were being swapped from the one on the wall to being a solid bed in the back. I'm not sure if that's just based on the model or if that's something that could be able to be done on every ship. But I do look forward to seeing these kind of features extending to all ships in the verse, particularly right now my 600i Explorer, because in some ways I think the layout is not optimal and I'd like to move some things around given the option. Now, in Star Citizen Live this week, the episode was called Holes in the Ground, and let me just start off by saying this one is well worth watching. It's a bit long, a little over an hour, I think like an hour 7 or an hour 8, but if you have the time, absolutely watch it. It is an hour well spent. So CIG showed off that they can make ravines with this technology, and they kind of showed the progression. They showed what they started with, and they kind of moved up to what they have now. What was very impressive to me was some of the last shots. Those shots were showing off bioluminescent plants and insects that would light up the caves, and with the water reflections, it was absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely give top kudos to the tech and art guys for blowing this out of the park. No complaints whatsoever. The potential on these tunnels is limitless. You can do deep underground bases. You go way underground, you're not seeing anything, and suddenly you find a man-made door that leads into a pirate base. Smuggler den. Maybe it'll lead to ruins of old civilizations, for the exploration side of it. You find an old buried Xeon temple. There's just no limits to what you can do with this, and this is why I'm so excited about it. One of the things that when I play Elite Dangerous that I found kind of vapid, aside from the point of not being able to get out of your chair, was that when you're down on planets, for the most part, it's just, there's texture and there's up and down, there's hills and stuff like that. But there's really nothing below ground. At least when I played. Maybe they've changed something since then, but I don't think so. Adding this layer, this depth, really adds something to the worlds. It just adds a surprise around every corner, or potentially just a big hole in the ground. Either way, you don't know, and that's what's cool about it. So let's get into the big topic that I wanted to talk about, which was the upcoming changes to the subscription model. Now, I do want to kind of put a caveat out there. As we know, CIG tends to occasionally phrase things poorly, and things can come across the wrong way, so I'm going to give them a lot of leeway on what they talked about here. What it sounds like is that the subscription items are of course going to be cosmetic, but they almost made it sound like they're going to be a subscriber exclusive. It means that potentially not earnable in game. Now, if they are going this route, it would be a breach of an important promise. But as I stated, this just may be bad wording. I do have a suggestion on how to make the subscriber plan a little bit better, a little bit more carrot, a little less stick, while not breaching any of the promises that they've made and just overall making more money. For starters, keep all items earnable and purchasable in the game as a separate thing. Then, give the players the option to choose a monthly UEC stipend instead of rec. Something like 5,000 UEC for a $10 sub, and I have something close to getting close to 2 million rec that I doubt I'm ever even going to use. UEC would definitely be a reason for me to sub, though I do sub anyway. Now here's where it gets a little bit more carrot than stick. For every $60 spent in subscriptions, you give the players one LTI token that can be applied to a ship. LTI tokens accumulate the same as rec or UEC, but it's not just a one-to-one conversion. Now, how you would pair that is that LTI tokens have a particular cost based upon the size of the jump gate they use. For example, a fighter would use a small jump gate. Obviously it can use medium and large too, but you get the general drift. The smallest one it can use. So it would take one LTI token. A medium ship would require 2 tokens, and a large ship, aka a capital, would require 3 tokens. Now, with 140 plus ships in the game, and a higher token cost for larger ships, this keeps it fairly balanced. A $10 sub would be able to LTI a capital ship every year and a half of gameplay, or a fighter every 6 months. Because of the time to get a token, there's no way you could LTI every ship, but only the ones you want the most. If you think about it, if the average ship is a medium ship, which takes 2 tokens, it would take 140 years to LTI them all at a $10 level and 70 years at a $20 level, so it's not overly weighted. But it's a nice reward for those who back the game with a bit more to, protect a few of their favorite ships. Now these tokens could be used for ships acquired after the game launches. This means the subscriptions have added value to the game after launch. Now, LTI tokens would be a massive incentive to use buyback tokens on ships that did not have LTI, and to purchase ships that also do not have LTI in the store, knowing that if they do sub, they will be able to attach LTI to that ship down the road. If CIG did this, I would mount at least one of my ships this very second. I feel that CIG is leaving money on the table by not having a system like this. I feel that this is just enough carrot to keep people interested in subscribing. Anyway, that's just a quick idea of how to rework the subscriber system, and I'm sure you have your own thoughts. Leave your comments down below, and I would love to read them. Alright guys, well that's about everything for this week, and I do appreciate your patience as I'm going through this being sick to being healthy thing, and we will catch you on the next one.